Welcome to the Guilford County 2023 State of the County Address. From the board chambers inside the Old County Courthouse in downtown Greensboro, here's Chair of the Board of Commissioners, Melvin Skip Alston.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the 2023 State of our County Address. I want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. We know you could have been someplace else rather than coming here, but you chose to be here, so we really appreciate that. Before I get started with my prepared remarks, I would like to recognize our Guilford County Board of Commissioners. Please stand, Guilford County Board of Commissioners. I want to personally I want to publicly thank all of our county commissioners for the great respect we show one another and putting partisan politics aside and really thinking about the people. And this board has done just that. They have put partisan politics aside and they represent their district, but at the same time, they represent all of Guilford County. Let's give them another round of applause. I would also like to recognize our county manager, Michael Halford, the entire county team that he manages. Thank you for your commitment to Guilford County. All of your employees that dedicate their time and their energy, not for the pay, but because they believe in Guilford County and what they do. I want us to thank all of our county staff and our county manager for a great job they do in leading Guilford County. I also want to show my appreciation for all of our local elected officials. With all of our local elected officials, please stand, city council members, mayors. Let's give them a round of applause for all the work that they do. And thank you all for coming out today. I also want to thank our clerk to the board, Robin Keller, our communications director, Julie Smith, and our entire team for putting together today's event. Let's give them a round of applause. I want to give a special welcome to my wife, Gwen Alston, who's in the chambers today. Let's give her a round of applause for putting up with me. Thank you all again for being here today and for joining us in this important collaborative work. It has been my pleasure to serve as board chairman this past year as we continue to make remarkable strides as one Guilford. And I'm proud to stand before you today and report to you that the state of Guilford County is strong, stronger than it's ever been before. As you may have guessed, our theme for this year's State of the County Address is One Guilford, building stronger communities together. There's a saying that you really don't know who you are until you have been tested during hard times. That saying holds true to our local government. Over the last few years, the pandemic tested both our commitment and our community, and we excelled. I'm more optimistic today than ever before because each and every one of you in this room and watching online rose to the occasion and tackled every obstacle the pandemic threw at us. Let's give ourselves a round of applause for tackling this pandemic. Without hesitation, the leaders in this room and all across the community came together as one Guilford to address some of the most difficult and most consequential challenges of our generation. With one united purpose, we aim to build a stronger, more resilient, and more equitable community than before. A community focused on collaboration and communication. And as a result, we, in my opinion, move the needles towards long-lasting transformational change. And I want to start today by talking about our commitment to building up our community and building it up together. Like many other counties across our state, the pandemic exposed some cracks in our foundation. We were forced to take a hard look at major issues through different lenses. Issues like food insecurity, the state of our community's physical health and mental well-being, access to health care and child care, and shortage in our housing market, and the need to strengthen our schools and our economy so we are better prepared for any future crisis. We studied the impact, we learned, and we not only passed the test, we surpassed even our own expectations as a united community, building a better future for all of our citizens. By working together, we develop a framework for our recovery and resilience plan. And in the last year, we leveraged federal, state, and local dollars to fund dozens of community-based projects. Our voters approved one of the largest school bonds in the nation, and we reached huge successes in economic development and job growth. Let me share a few quick snapshots of where we are today. As you all know, we are the third most populous county in the state of North Carolina. A little more than 500,000 people call Guilford County home. We are proud that we embrace and celebrate diversity in Guilford County. Around 47% of our residents identify as white, 36% as Black, 9% as Hispanic or Latino, 5% as Asian, and 3% as biracial or multiracial or another race. We are a community of higher learning, home to North Carolina A&T State University, UNCG, Bennett College, High Point University, Guilford College, Greensboro College, Elon University School of Law, and GTCC. Our county is a center for educational excellence here in Guilford County. The median household income in Guilford County is just more than $55,000 a year. Top employers include Cone Health, the Guilford County school system, and our unemployment rate remains low at 3.9%. Guilford County was fortunate to receive $104 million from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act, better known as ARPA. More than 2,000 residents told us through community meetings, online surveys, and other forms how to best use those funds to support the community's near and long-term growth and recovery goals. And as a board, we prioritize and funded projects supporting healthy early childhood environments and education, access to health care, behavioral health and substance use, small businesses, workforce and economic development, broadband and digital inclusion, strong community, and strong government. We also committed to deep collaboration with our community partners, and we delivered on our promise. We are under contract with 9 of our municipal partners to implement water and sewer, mobility, and recreational programs. 43 nonprofit organizations are contracted by Guilford County to lead programs or initiatives in our community. And more than 100 community organizations are engaged in ARPA-enabled programming or providing support for program implementations, for better fire protection in our rural communities, to increase opportunities for youth and young adults, to stronger support for residents exposed to abuse. These funds are making a difference in all corners of our community. When it comes to economic development, Guilford County is on the move. As a county, we continue to build upon our workforce development and job creation. Our Guilford County Economic Development Alliance has had extraordinary wins over the last year and a half. We welcome companies like Boom Supersonic, Gorilla RF, Marshall's Aerospace, and Pro Kidney. We've added 973 new jobs in the last fiscal year alone. Over $690 million in new investments have come to our community. These remarkable numbers don't even include our regional mega site at Toyota, with an additional 3,500 jobs and $5.9 billion in capital investments just on the edge of Guilford County, southeastern border. Let's give our existing companies and our new companies a round of applause for choosing Guilford County and staying in Guilford County. Let's talk about our community's commitment to building a stronger educational system in Guilford County. $2 billion. $2 billion. Our voters really delivered for our educational system with a once-in-a-generation investment in our schools. We know that better education directly impacts economic development, and more educated community translate into a more skilled and more effective workforce. Today, we are reaping the fruits of our investments from 10 to 15 years ago. Educational initiatives like our aviation training program at GTCC and our Health and Biological Technology Educational Center at Union Square. Education is the common denominator in achieving economic development and sustainability. And people in our community understand this, which is why they gave us their approval to continue our investments in K-12 education, our children today and for decades to come, all into the future of Guilford County. We are starting to see the development of the first 11 school bond projects, with Claxon Elementary holding its last beam placement ceremony at the end of August. We're looking forward to celebrating the completion of Faust Gaming and Robotic Schools, Brooks Global Studies, Kaiser Middle School, and Peck K-9 Extraordinary Learning Schools, coming online by the end of January 2025. The remaining 6 projects in the first phase are also moving along in their various stages of planning and pre-construction. And the Board of County Commissioners, we're working together with our school board to manage the timing and the funding closely so that we can maximize the investments our voters have made in our school system. From safety and technology improvements to long overdue facility maintenance, we are doing all of this so that our children have access to 21st century learning, technology advancements, and all of the educational tools necessary to reach their full potential. But it's not only about better buildings, it's a stronger community. The projects funded by the school construction bonds also include healthy community spaces. And I want to take a moment to thank our voters. Let's give our voters a round of applause for passing such a big bond referendum. Now, please join me in watching this video.
Communities across Guilford County rely on public education.
Strong communities are street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood, and schools are the anchors in our community.
That's one reason the county dedicated nearly half its annual budget to Guilford County schools, and why voters approved up to $2 billion in school construction bonds.
Some of the things that I am most proud of course, our significant increased investment in public education.
Seeing new projects coming out of the ground, being able to provide funding for schools over and beyond what our responsibilities are has just been a great opportunity to say that we value education as county commissioners.
The ability to move forward on these projects is going to change the future of our community, and that is something I am very proud of. The county has really stepped up. It is a huge priority for us to support and invest in public education, and so we have filled in the gap.
What we're doing in Guilford County is reimagining public schools. No longer are they just going to be open from 7 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon. We need to reimagine them, and we've done so that these buildings are not just better buildings, but they provide safer community spaces.
The county's commitment to education extends beyond grades K through 12. $20 million in the 2024 county budget goes to Guilford County Technical Community College for workforce training.
Whenever we are looking to attract and retain employers, whether that be small businesses or very large ones, a key component is our ability to train and continue to train the workforce. And so for us, a major partner is GTCC.
Investments in education and skills training are key elements of some of the most significant economic wins in a generation.
So we've had a lot of really exciting news about economic development in Guilford County over the last 12 months. Many new companies are coming to our area and are on the cutting edge of technology, aviation, biomedical sciences, so many incredible opportunities for our community.
Economic development incentives are all about partnerships. And whenever we go through the incentive process, we're partnering with the state, we're partnering with local municipalities, and our local economic development partners like the Greensboro Chamber of Commerce and the High Point Economic Development Corporation. Because of that partnership, we've been able to attract major employers. The type of jobs that we are looking to create here in our community are those high-paying jobs. We're looking at the creation of thousands of these jobs right here in Guilford County.
As these companies ramp up, local towns and cities are utilizing funds from the American Rescue Plan to support their growing communities.
Our ARPA investments were driven by public input and in a direct response to what people in our community said that they needed in order to become more resilient as we came out of the pandemic. And so to be able to support people in the ways that they helped identify, I think brings tremendous value and meaning to the work that we're doing.
With our ARPA dollars, Guilford County was able to invest in several programs across the communities.
And by funding these community-based organizations who are in the community on a daily basis, it gives us the opportunity to support the strong work that is already happening.
The funding for the bridge project is so important because with the funding, we can affect better outcomes in education for children, we can affect better health outcomes, we can affect better job placement, job performance, and by focusing on the holistic community, we can have cross-generational impacts.
One of the great things about the Windsor-Chavis-Noco Community Center is that people will be able to access a whole bunch of city services and community service. It's kind of a one-stop shop. And I think once that ribbon is cut and the doors are open, that people are going to realize that their concerns and that their opinions were validated and that they can see it in this wonderful complex.
Receiving the ARPA money from Guilford County was so important to Oak Ridge because we've been working on developing a town water system for over 25 years. And that funding has made that future of clean, available water possible for Oak Ridge. It would not be possible otherwise.
We have a cooperative effort with the county and with the state where each one did $5.5 million for $11 million sewer and water infrastructure project, which will actually bring the sewer and water, that's the missing infrastructure piece we have.
If you're going to grow, you have to have water and sewer. And we're glad to have a place that we can go and say, we want to grow, but we need some help.
The American Rescue Plan was touted as a once-in-a-generation change, and this is truly the case for the town. We never have had sewer and water. And without this $11 million, we wouldn't have sewer and water. And so that will change the scope of this town for years to come.
The $5.5 million received in ARPA funds is so important to High Point because it allows us to focus on projects that without the funding, we simply wouldn't have the resources to tackle.
Well, there's no question about it. If we had not got the money from the county, even though we wanted to do these projects, even though we want to expand our community, we didn't have the resources to do it.
on behalf of the Greensboro City Council and myself, want to thank Commissioner Alston and all of the county commissioners for really putting their dollars behind the One Guilford initiative.
I see what the Guilford County Commissioners have done in their One Guilford initiative as meeting each of the towns in Guilford County, the big ones and the small ones, where we are. Our needs aren't the same as Greensboro or High Point, but this initiative has met us where we are and is allowing us to build for our future, which is really the future of Guilford County.
Our next theme for today is stronger. In union, there is strength. As One Guilford, we are united in growing a strong workforce, both as a county and in our community. Our Guilford County government has some of the best and most talented and most dedicated staff in the state. And let's be honest, the market for quality public service employees is getting more and more competitive. It is crucial for us to continue to train and establish a pipeline for highly competitive jobs like public health nurses, social workers, law enforcement, and emergency medical responders. As a county, we have invested in our employees, offering quality wages, better benefits, and retention incentives, so we can remain competitive with neighboring jurisdictions and the private sector. We've also made headway towards building stronger employment pathways for people interested in law enforcement and public safety careers. We've continued to explore creative recruitment strategies like the EMS Launchpad, which provides entry-level training for those interested in becoming emergency medical technicians. In partnership with GTCC, the Fire Cabinet supports our local nonprofit fire departments, especially in our rural communities. Our residents in the rural parts of our county, such as Wissett, Sedalia, Brown Summit, and others, deserve the same high-quality emergency response as those in our larger urban areas. So we have developed an innovative strategy like the Impact Unit in EMS to allow faster response times in all areas of Guilford County. Our investment strategy extends to our community workforce and small businesses because they are the backbone of our economy. Our work this year includes allocating $7.2 million towards small business initiatives and workforce development programs. This includes programs like The Forge, a makerspace designed to remove barriers like costly equipment tools and rental spaces. And Forge trade professionals share space, resources, and knowledge, learning from one another as they build their trade and their small businesses. Programs like the Steel House, where the former headquarters of Carolina Steel was, will be converted into a small business incubator in East Greensboro, providing opportunities and workspaces for startup companies looking to scale up their manufacturing. I am very proud of the improvements that the county has made in this year in our MWBE program. We completed our disparity study, hired a new MWBE program director, implemented the county's first official MWBE policy, and truly launched our MWBE efforts. We created more open and equitable purchasing programs, offering minority and women businesses more opportunities to secure county contracts and offer more support and partnerships to our growing MWBE community. A strong community supports its creative economy. And this year, Guilford County invested $2.5 million to support the arts. These funds enable small business management training and serve as a connector for artistic entrepreneurs and arts patrons and job opportunities. Whether you attended the Folks Festival early this year, took in the Greensboro Arts District, the colorful murals in High Point, or visited the International Civil Rights Center Museum, you saw firsthand the value that arts and culture contribute to our local economy. Maybe you visited one of our parks and enjoyed the natural beauty of all of us in Guilford County enjoy. We are truly blessed to live in a place with so many outdoor recreational spaces for all residents to enjoy. The county is home to 7 regional parks and 10 massive parks, encompassing all kinds of activities, from pickleball to putt-putt to the annual Big Pick. Over the past years, we met with members of our community, and you told us how much you cherish your outdoor recreational spaces. And our parks team does a fantastic job each year of providing quality spaces and quality programming for everyone to get out and enjoy natural beauty of our community. A strong community is a connected community. And we are working to strengthen our transportation connections because it's hard to strive when you can't get to point A to point B. This year, we allocated $1 million of our ARPA dollars to begin work to build better transportation connections between our citizens and the critical services that they need. And we are strengthening our virtual connections. In the last year, we committed to put forward our broadband connectivity work, connecting our comprehensive gap analysis. We want to close that gap immediately. Our study shows that 49% of our residents have needs in either availability, affordability, or adoption of connectivity. Everyone in this room and watching online can relate to the fact that high-speed internet is vital to our daily activities. And we believe it is important that this service be equally distributed across Guilford County. In the coming year, we will continue to invest in digital infrastructure equity and equipment programs to provide access to more residents so that they can be prepared for a digital future. Let's join some of our commissioners to take a look at how our county programs are strengthening our communities.
Communication is critical. We took an initiative, took some of our ARPA dollars and said we've got to invest in broadband so that our citizens are connected in a way that they need to be to have a quality of life that they deserve.
After outlining a strategy to improve connectivity across the county, Guilford County allocated funds for broadband infrastructure through the GREAT Grant Program and worked with local housing authorities to support digital literacy programs to enhance the county's workforce development efforts.
There's a nationwide shortage of skilled trades. We know that. It used to be that business was here and education was over here and colleges were over here, and now we've brought all of those in the same center of gravity. These students can now, by the time they're a sophomore, junior, be working with industry and familiarize themselves with whatever that next job may be.
One of the areas that I'm particularly excited about is the $2 million that we allocated to the Nussbaum Center for the Carolina Steelhouse Project. This project will be a center of urban manufacturing and innovation, and it will be home for a vibrant community of artisans, small businesses, and support organizations.
We at Guilford County are truly building a stronger, more resilient business community through our MWBE efforts. It just extends more than just an MWBE office where people can just come and bid on projects. It helps to prepare them by providing education and resources to be able to be competitive in this process.
Our partnership with Defense Alliance of North Carolina, otherwise known as DANCE, is very important as we seek to be a beacon for Department of Defense jobs. We want to attract and retain those critical jobs.
The need for workers in public safety, be it police, fire, EMS, is critical nationwide. So we're all competing with other jurisdictions and trying to attract the best talent to help serve our public.
Guilford County's public safety agencies responded to more than 150,000 calls last year. In a highly competitive job market, it's more important than ever for the county to strengthen and ensure resiliency among its vital first responder workforce.
So we've done a couple of things working on our pay plan to make sure that we're paying these individuals competitive wage. The other piece is training, making sure that we have access to training to get people involved in public safety.
To reach a broader demographic, the county created the EMT Launchpad and the Paid Fire Academy. These entry-level programs allow more people to explore a career in public service.
Think about when you call 911. We can't not have somebody come. Because of that, we have to continuously look at how do we make sure that talent pool is available and here to serve you on a day-to-day basis. That's what these academies do. When we look at the successful outcome of the Fire Academy, of the EMT Academy, and the Paramedic Academy, that put people in the seats of those trucks that are available to respond to your emergency day in and day out.
And when responding, the county is using an innovative approach called IMPACT. The new interagency medical provider assessment and care team pairs a smaller, more nimble response unit to calls that likely won't require transport to a hospital.
This IMPACT team, which by the way is the first of its kind in the state, can help not just put the right resources there, but put them there quicker. I often say we need to match task with talent when we're talking about people. We need to do the same thing with resources, matching resources with the need. Instead of having a $300,000 unit responding, they may have a $75,000 unit respond that can provide the resources that are needed at that particular time.
Over at Guilford County Animal Services, the team is expanding community outreach efforts to improve adoptions, provide access to rabies vaccinations, and promote spay and neuter programs.
Since moving into our new Animal Resources Center, we've been able to offer more services and better engage with our community. One of the things that we're working on right now is a new initiative called 72 Hours Straight to Foster. And this is allowing those who may not be able to adopt or foster long-term an opportunity to foster for a shorter period of time until we have the opportunity to find a permanent home for those animals.
And when it comes time to take that new foster or adopt a pet for a walk outside, Guilford County is home to a beautiful park system. From dog parks and aquatic centers to trails and golf courses, Guilford County Parks offers quality outdoor opportunities for everyone.
So what we saw across the county during the pandemic was a significant increase in park usage. One of the things I wondered is this going to stick? Will this hold true after we come out of the pandemic? And what we've seen is that the answer to that question is actually yes. And I think that the reason that people continue to use our parks and that the numbers of folks who are enjoying the incredible facilities we have continues to grow is because our facilities are really special.
To ensure those resources support the growing Guilford County population well into the future, the county is currently updating the Comprehensive Parks Master Plan.
The plan is going to help us decide what will parks and park offerings look like over the course of the next decade. One of the things we did in the last 12 months was extend our offerings here in Guilford County on the Mountains to Sea Trail. We opened an additional section of that trail at the Hines Chapel Preserve in McLeansville, and that opening was particularly special because we were able to do it in conjunction with the statewide celebration of the Year of the Trail. Guilford County continues to take a One Guilford approach, and that is true even in our parks. We collaborated with our local municipalities in order to build the Piedmont Discovery app, which allows users to download a free app and to access all of the parks and trails throughout the county. Those operated, of course, by Guilford County and by all of our municipal partners as well.
You know, everything we do is in the interest of our final theme today, and that is community. We would not be here if it were not for our residents. As a county government, the essential services we provide make significant impacts on our community's daily lives. We play a significant role in maintaining safe and secure communities. We sit at the forefront of promoting public health and well-being. And we are trailblazing in our educational support and our workforce development. Most importantly, when you are facing your strongest challenges, we are here to support you. In the last year, we continue to build our investments in behavioral health services by expanding our crisis center to add facility-based stabilization care, as well as working better to connect with our community's existing mental health programs. Across all corners of our community, we are still feeling the impact of the opioid epidemic. As settlement dollars begin to flow into our county, we're working with our community of providers, our advocates, the survivors, to build a strategic plan and launch pilot programs that save lives, stop the suffering, reduce the stigma, and address the ongoing impacts of the opioid epidemic. We're also making important strides in reducing the high number of infants in our county who die before their first birthday. In 2019, we made a bold decision to create a collective impact movement called Every Baby Guilford. This program is centered in the community. It works not by telling people what they need, but by listening to our parents and engaging in them, and with active conversations with them before and after childbirth. This community-driven solution aims to eliminate the racial disparities we see in infant mortality and was recently recognized nationally at our National County Commissioners Convention for its work to save lives. We continue to lead the state in domestic violence prevention and intervention efforts through our Family Justice Center, serving more than 13,000 people this year alone. More children attended our Camp Hope this summer than ever before. And our Elder Justice Collaborative is a gold standard across the state. Our Family Justice Center is regularly spotlighted by the North Carolina School of Government as a best practice for supporting vulnerable older adults. Our Public Health Department is tracking the continued use of gun violence in our community, working with our partners to bring together many voices in our community to develop strategic multidisciplinary goals to reduce community violence and violent crime in Guilford County. We're also preparing to serve even more people through expanded Medicaid. We expect some 33,000 people in Guilford County will be newly eligible for Medicaid as the program expands in North Carolina. Today, I'm pleased to announce the creation of a new Medicaid division for Guilford County, led by a new director, and I'm pleased to share we've already hired more than half of the staff needed to support this important expansion. That deserves a round of applause. And as I said a moment ago, when you're facing your toughest challenges, we are here. During this past year, I've had the opportunity to engage with a wide variety of people working to address the experience of homelessness in our community and the growing issues of housing insecurity. According to some studies, as many as 1 in 3 Americans are just one paycheck away from homelessness, from the loss of a job, the loss of a relationship, the loss of one's mental health, the onset of an addiction without the resources to afford treatment. The reasons for homelessness are as varied and unique as each individual who experiences it. You know, this topic is very close to my heart. Many of you may not know that as a young man, I experienced a time when I had no home. I lost my job. I experienced the eviction process, lost my car, was repossessed. I had few places to turn. And fortunately, a friend of a friend allowed me to rent a room for a few months until I could regain my stability. Not everyone has a friend of a friend to lean on. My experience was mild compared to those in our community who sleep outside under bridges, make beds on the sidewalks, and try to don't know where their next meal is going to come from. There, but by the grace of God, could have been me. And I promise God that if he allowed me to get back up on my feet, that I would dedicate my life to helping those that are in that position. But we can do better for our residents in need here in Guilford County. Homelessness and housing insecurity are more common than ever before, and we don't realize that. In North Carolina, there were roughly 135,000 affordable housing units available for 3 million low-income earning folks and families. Hold that one thought. 135,000 available housing units available for 3 million earning low incomes. That represents 4% of the affordable homes for the people who need them in North Carolina. There are 7 evictions filed every minute in the United States for those who are not housed and secure. Sadly, eviction cases are filed against black renters at almost twice the rate of white renters. In the last 3 years, the Guilford County CARES Emergency Rental and Utility Assistance Grant Program provided relief to thousands of Guilford County residents unable to make rent or utility payments as a result of COVID-19. Guilford County processed more than 15,000 applications and provided a total of $47.4 million in direct payments to prevent evictions and keep people in their homes. When facing a day at eviction court, we are there at the courthouse to provide and support for those that are going through eviction process in the Greensboro and High Point courthouses. Partners from our ARPA-funded eviction mediation program are in person twice a week while court is in session. These services are provided in partnership with UNC Greensboro and Legal Aid of North Carolina. They work to find common ground between residents facing eviction and their landlords. Our county programs help offset expenses for food, child care, medical care, energy and water bills, behavioral health care, medication management, and addiction and recovery programs for qualified individuals and their families. But still, too many people are ending up homeless in our community. In the last year, as a primary service provider, we've become laser focused on the crisis of homelessness in our community. According to the 2023 annual point-in-time count, more than 450 people were experiencing homelessness on a single night in January here in Guilford County. This year, I joined numerous volunteers as we fan out across the community to connect with people experiencing homelessness. They understand very basic information about who they are, how they are surviving, and what they need to move away from the experience of homelessness. I was honored to join these volunteers led by our continuum of care for the point-in-time count. But I want to give a shout out to the people who show up every day, whether it be on weekends and holidays or during extreme weather conditions, to assure people without a home have access to basic amenities and services. Let's give our volunteers and our staff a round of applause who go out and work day and day with our homeless population. We can do more to address this issue. And together, with Mayor Nancy Vaughn in Greensboro and Councilwoman Monica Peters in High Point, we partnered on a homeless task force to take a deeper look at what we can do in order to help those in Guilford County as one Guilford to better support those in need of housing. Guilford County has set aside $8 million to help boost efforts in these areas. We aim to add 250 new beds for emergency shelter, permanent housing, supportive housing, and rapid rehousing through this effort. And we are well on our way of reaching that goal. Guilford County has invested more than $6 million from its ARPA allocation to projects that include COC partner funding, the Center for Hope and Healing in High Point, and the proposed acquisition of the Irwin Montessori School in Greensboro. The county has just acquired property that previously served as a nursing home off of Lee's Chapel Road, with the goal of opening a long-term drug and mental health treatment center for the first time in Guilford County. That deserves a round of applause. You know, the county is also working on a third project to provide housing options for mothers with children who are working through addiction recovery and need supportive housing. At the end of the day, we want to have resources in our community for those who are working towards self-sufficiency. We want to provide long-term, service-oriented solutions for those facing addiction, mental illness, or both, which makes maintaining housing very difficult. It is my hope that we can remove those barriers and help our residents live their best lives. Sometimes all it takes is to be in the right place at the right time, and you can change someone's life dramatically. Join me in watching how all of these efforts are impacting our community.
I think that the county is doing a really good job being intentional about mental health services.
When a mental health or substance use crisis occurs, Guilford County is taking a total care approach. There's someone to call, a place to go, and a team to respond.
The 988 line has been a tremendous addition to services for those who need immediate help. And it may even be a life-saving call, because that one personal contact can really make the difference. And we're hearing that here it has been a very active access to help.
At the Guilford County Behavioral Health Urgent Care, more than 11,000 have received crisis services. New this year, when a longer stay is needed, the Behavioral Health Center also offers short-term facility-based care.
This is a facility that is set up for stabilization and immediate crisis care. So if they need to stay overnight, if they need to stay several days, it's there. And they can, when they go through that door, they're going to get the care that they need.
When an emergency response is needed, a specially trained Guilford County paramedic is now part of the Greensboro Police Department's B Heart unit and responds alongside behavioral health specialists and law enforcement officers to emergencies, including someone experiencing a mental illness or substance use crisis. All emergency responders countywide are equipped and trained to reverse an overdose, and Guilford County is expanding that training to residents through GC Stop. This partnership between Guilford County EMS and UNC Greensboro has distributed nearly 6,000 overdose reversal kits across the county in the past year.
GC Stop was one of those innovative programs where different folks from different areas came together and said, we need to collaborate to help address this issue and make a difference. Personally, I had a sister that died from opioid overdose. And it's not just the person that died, it's the families of those left behind that you need to think about. And we have a responsibility in the county to make sure that we do what we can to address this critical issue.
Partnerships are the heart of the county's response to domestic violence prevention and intervention. The Guilford County Family Justice Center supported nearly 13,000 people experiencing domestic violence last year and was recognized with a national award for its high-risk homicide prevention initiative. This year, the FJC is partnering with Guilford County EMS and the Division of Social Services to create an adult welfare community team. This team will connect vulnerable adults calling 911 to resources like healthcare, housing options, food assistance, and other long-term solutions.
The formulation of this team provides resources from DSS, our Family Justice Center, from emergency services, and others that can help better allocate limited resources to the people that are in need and get them to the right location. We want to make sure that people have access to all health care, understanding the true emergency where they need 911, but also understanding the day-to-day aspects of helping with some need that's better met from a different level of service.
In addition to supporting adults, the FJC is a critical healing space for children and youth impacted by domestic violence.
Family Justice Center has joined up with Camp Hope America in sponsoring a camp every summer for youngsters who have experienced trauma from domestic violence and child abuse. When these youngsters return in the fall, they're totally different. They have confidence. They have gotten past this feeling of, was I to blame? The youngsters there are given opportunities to do all kinds of activities, and then also to sit around campfires and just talk. And then they realize they're not alone and that they're not to blame.
When we think about the health of our community, it is more than just physical health. It involves housing. It involves employment. It involves transportation. It involves mental health. And those are all components that through the various services that our county provides that we're trying to address, not just for our citizens, but with our citizens. A critical component of improving access to health care is to meet people where they are.
The Navigator program that we were able to partner with Ready for School, Ready for Life is going to be especially beneficial to our citizens in Guilford County. There are hundreds of organizations that are serving the people of Guilford County, but not everyone knows who they are and what services they provide. And so the Navigators are going to be in the OB/GYN offices where the parents are already coming and connecting their need with the resources that are already available in our community.
To help more infants thrive, Every Baby Guilford works with the community to prevent infant deaths and eliminate racial disparities in prenatal and infant health care.
We are very proud in this county of our Every Baby Guilford program that has just won national recognition for the work that they're doing to reduce disparities among childbirth, is adding a personal touch, having a doula who looks like you, who can relate to you, somebody that you can trust, and it's a relationship that you're building out here in the community.
This approach to connecting with the community extends to the county's veteran population and their families.
I've seen Guilford County really be one of the biggest advocates for our veterans here. Veterans Benefit Live, just a few weeks ago, we served over 560 veterans. Our county was front and center with the planning and coordinating. So many times these veterans just don't know where to go. It's our job to really reach out and provide them that connectivity.
As Guilford County grows, it is vital for county commissioners and county government to stay connected to residents on important initiatives like the county budget.
Community engagement is extremely important because if we don't have a transparent process and our elected officials aren't being forthcoming with what's going on in the community, it's hard to build trust. And in order for us to reach our full potential, we need our community members to be participatory. So earlier in the year, we started off with budget town halls, and this was an opportunity for our staff and county commissioners to go into different parts of our community and let them know what was in our prior budget, the ideas that we had for our future budget, and then it gave the community members an opportunity to really engage with us. Guilford County is really focused on planning for our future, and one of the ways that we're doing that is with our 2040 comprehensive plan. And this is where our planning department has put together a survey as well as workshops and town halls, and it's an opportunity for our community to really be a part in creating the future of Guilford County.
In closing, we're strengthening our foundations through infrastructure investments, continue to build up our support systems through innovation and collaboration, and providing connectivity and engagement within our communities. We're also planning ahead for future challenges. We must continue to stay focused on our whole person care philosophy. As a community, we recognize that prevention and intervention programs to help individuals become independent are just as vital as job creations. We want everyone in our community to have the best opportunities possible to achieve success. We must remain prudent in our financial investment for our schools. We must continue to collaborate and work together to improve our community for all of our residents. To work as a whole, to move our county forward. We must continue our efforts to remain business friendly and build upon our parks and arts and cultural opportunities. We've made great strides in the last 2 years, strides that we all can be proud of. So before you leave today, I want to remind you of the challenge coin you received on your way in today. As you leave here, I want to challenge you to keep the momentum we have created in the last 2 years going, to continue to be innovative, to challenge the way things are always been done, to think outside the box for the good of all of our community, to continue to push forward as we build a stronger community and build that community together. And we want you to leave with one final message from our commissioners.
We're working together as one.
We are one Guilford.
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 We are one Guilford, building stronger communities together.
Thank you all for joining us in this year's State of the County Address. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for coming.